Just don't take her out.
Okay.
I never know where to look on Zoom either. And I'm on Zoom all the time, but yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. People will see us and our loveliness.
Yes.
So, Burning Flag, you started with them and you guys had the worst luck.
It really did.
Your debut as the singer and coronavirus hit more or less at the same time.
Yep.
You did that live stream, which was brilliant, but you were nervous. How did you feel about it?
I think live stream was easier, and we did have a couple of people from around Sorby Bridge in the practice room, but we've got like a big practice room. So, but so that was a little bit nerve-wracking. And yeah, some words I forgot and things, and you know, I was just kind of it is scary because, you know, guitars can sound the same. And bass, like you can get different types of bass and different types of guitars and things. But if a guitarist joins a band and they've got, you know, they get sent the tabs or the notes or whatever, and they learn it on guitar, you know, and it, you know, it can sound similar, but with vocals, and I think most people would agree that me and Ange have very different vocal styles.
Yeah.
So people who have followed Burning Flag from the beginning are used to Ange's vocals. And also I've always loved Burning Flag and had them play at one of my shows. And, you know, so it was scary because I was like, what's everybody going to think? This is live. Oh, we're going to get a load of comments going on there going like, oh, she's shit. Put her back, you know. But I did get a lot of support, and the guys have been so supportive, encouraging, and motivating. So that made it a little bit easier.
Yeah, because you, like you say, you two have very different styles, but your vocals suit Burning Flag just as much as Ange's vocals suited Burning Flag.
Yeah, and I think it's because Burning Flag are just so versatile, you know. You can't pin a genre on Burning Flag.
No.
So I think, yeah, both of our vocals, even though they were different, they suited because it is, you know, they're quite a. We're quite, I keep saying we're quite a versatile band, and like genre crossing over, and yeah, I would say I grew up with hardcore, 90s hardcore, and that is probably my favorite subgenre of punk. And I was very inspired by my brother, who was in bands and sang like with quite hardcore vocals, sometimes clean as well, but yeah, I'm so chuffed that we've just gelled, and it just seems to have all kind of like come together so wonderfully.
And you can hear that on the album. You can hear the gelling, you know, that Yeah, it's a new singer, but it doesn't feel like a new band, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was worried it would sound so different. But you know, vocals are just one part of a band.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many more components, and the guys put so much into it. So it is Burning Flag. It's just got different sounding vocals and a few kind of little risky vocal melodies and different like and key changes and things, which is what I kind of like brought into it. But yeah, it's fun. We have a great time. Like, I've missed those guys so much over the lockdowns. Band practice is my thing. It's very social. Even in my first audition, it was just like, it just felt right. So
yeah, that's got to be the tough part. I mean, you wrote and recorded this whole thing in lockdown, the whole album, and yet you can't really see each other too much, and you couldn't really practice and keep going, like, testing live. And
the testing live was the big thing, because that's how everybody does it, right? You know, you write your new songs, you play your new songs, you record your new songs. You know, although some bands will just write it in the studio and then record them there. We don't have that privilege. But so we had the live stream, that was the last thing, and then like everybody, like, it was like national quarantine. Then when it opened up in the summer again, we basically just went full pelt. We were doing 1 to 2 band practices a week, just really working on just tightening all the songs as much as possible, adding things, amending things, to get ready for, just trying to think, October when we did recording. You know, because we knew that there was going to be another lockdown imminent. So yeah, we just really went for it. But you know, even so, without the live kind of practice, I think it has come together really, really well. Yeah, I don't know how it would have turned out with live practice, to be honest. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you'll never know with that, but you've produced one hell of an album.
Thank you.
Especially considering the circumstances, but in general, I love it. I mean, it
Thank
really,
you so much.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Thank you so much. Well, it's been a journey. It's certainly been a journey. We recorded, and then we weren't happy with the mixes. So and we just, it was just so important for us and the guys especially as well, because you know, when they kind of auditioned me, you know, the whole thing was right, progression, we need to take it up a notch, you know, and just kind of like throw ourselves forward. So yeah, and any kind of anything we weren't happy with, it would just go back. But then we got Steve Orion from Orion Studios to mix it for us. And yeah, he's done an absolutely sterling job. There was even like little additions as well. It was like, oh, should we just record a few more backing vocals on that, and or you know, add this or do this, and it was just always changing, and progressing and getting better. And then Mark, Mr. Midgley from in the band and Northern Mastering, mastered it, and he's done an absolute amazing. It's like he took Steve's mixes and has just made them like melt your face off. So yeah, it's definitely been a journey. It's been a little stressful, but luckily, you know, we do work as a democracy, and we do tend to kind of reach a compromise anyway. So yeah, and we're here. We made it.
You made it, and you've got such a brilliant product at the end. So
We are very, very proud of it. I think, you know, people are going to hear that, and I know for a fact people are going to be like, you know, they think my vocals sound great, and I'm me being a little bit of a self-critic. I think going back to the live practice,
yeah,
my voice wasn't as conditioned as I wanted it to be, but yeah, so I listened to some of the tracks and I'm like, oh, could have gone a little bit grufflier with that, you know. I'm sure it's fine with everyone else, so.
And you're always going to have that, you know.
Definitely.
Somebody else will hear it and think absolutely perfect, and the person doing it will go, well, I could have, and tweak. And it's just how it was, you know. And
that's it, you know. It'll drive you mad otherwise, and you end up in a rabbit hole. And we're all four of us are just absolute perfectionists, so anything out, any kind of like slight noise out, I mean, Mark and Matt have, I think they have bat hearing, but yeah, they were just on it all the time, like just tweaking it, wanted it to be perfect, and they did a great job. I'm so like, because they've got more kind of engineering experience and more of an ear. Yeah, it was all worth it though. I think every band would say that. Mixing is definitely the most stressful part of it all.
Yeah, because you've done your work, you've sung, you've played. Now you've got to make it come together and be what it's supposed to be, what you hear up here.
Yeah, and that's it. And you know, we all feel that, like, we listen to the album, and when I've been in other bands, I've never been able to listen to the albums or the EPs or the demos, and it's so bizarre that I can listen to it and still get like listen to this and get tingles and be so proud, you know. Yeah, or excited. I can't believe we said the 6th. Oh, it was because of Incisions. That's it. We would have come out earlier, but we knew Incisions were releasing theirs on the Friday. So yeah, we wanted to leave a little bit of a. Yeah,
that's a good thing to have a big gap, because you guys are similar enough that you're going to have the same fans.
Agreed. Yeah. And I think it's only fair as well. If you can practice that etiquette, I think it's worth doing. Although it just feels like the 16th is miles away. So we're like, we just want to get it out.
2 more weeks. That's it.
Yeah, not long.
In 2 weeks.
It is. Yeah. I'm going to start saying a week on Friday.
Yes, definitely. And the cover, it's very different from anything you guys have done before.
Yeah.
How did that come about? It's a beautiful piece of art, but it's very different, especially for a punk album.
Yeah, it's kind of, it looks metal.
Yeah.
It looks like a metal album. I think when we decided on the name of the album, Matador, so one of the tracks called Matador, as you know, and it is our favorite on the album, and we think it's the most powerful on the album. So that's why we named the album Matador. And then we kind of like thought about, you know, images of, like, I don't know, like a matador being gored by a bull and things, and I was just like, oh, the blood, and then the horns are all up there and everything. But then we kind of discussed about artwork and who we should get to do it, and then Skinny came up. Skinny's done a lot of artwork for a lot of like crusty beat bands. And yeah, Mark sent the references, and then he sent, I'll probably show you actually, hang on.
Oh,
and then he sent us this.
Oh wow. Oh my God, that's gorgeous.
I know. isn't it? It's just right. And we were blown away by it. And it was just everything that we kind of thought that we wanted. And I think with Burning Flag, the kind of the color, the palette of Burning Flag is very much black, white, red.
Yeah.
So it does go with that, but it does look metal. I'm like, it looks so fucking metal. I guess that it kind of like pertains to how our genre is such a crossover genre, because we do have metal elements of it. You know, we do have like I don't know, like a bit of Motorhead and you know, AC/DC and other metal, and even like, you know, probably like a bit of like Swedish death metal as well. You know, it's just everything has come into that. And so I guess, yeah, it kind of signifies like this is a difference, this is a new era for us. We're definitely still punk at heart. But I would say it's just a mix. You know, it's a big mix. The tracks, you've got some that is quite like Killing Jokey and Jesus Lizardy. And then you've got like your hardcore, your DB, your metal. So I think it suits it definitely. And Skinny's done such a great job.
Oh, that's stunning. But with the metal, when I was filling in doing a metal show on the radio station, I was playing Burning Flag all the time because it just fit right in.
It does, doesn't it?
And it really just slotted in. And the new material, I quit doing it before you guys released anything. That would also totally fit right in. So,
but I mean, yeah, we're so influenced by so many different types of bands and genres. None of us have like a one track music taste. It's all very mixed. I mean, you know, I've been spending my last few weeks of the sunny weather listening to my Babes and Bangers playlist, you know. But like growing up, you know, I listened to emo, ska, skate, hardcore, metalcore, new metal, death metal. So I'm just, you know, and then talking to Matt the other day, because we got asked some interview questions. I said, oh, what you guys been listening to over lockdown? And Matt was like, you know, just been listening to the Smiths, the Contro Twins, what else? But yeah, just quite different stuff, you know. Oh, Prince. So he's been listening to Prince. Hey. Why not? You know.
Exactly. In fact, I
love that.
Yeah. I found when I was really involved in the emerging thrash metal scene back in the 80s, and I'd get on the tour bus with the bands, you know, just sitting there hanging out and stuff. Never once did you hear anything metal. Never.
No. As I've got older, I've realized that it's just not me, you know, who just listens to so many different things, like from classical music to melodic death metal, you know. And I think it just shows that you do love music, you know, you are a music lover, and that punk might be your favorite genre. But I guess with punk, it's very much like it's a lifestyle, it's your ethics. You know, I don't think kind of me listening to a bit of Christina Aguilera is going to make me less punk, because you know that's what I've always done, you know.
Punk is,
I love it. You can hear that, you can hear it in the album as well, definitely. Like it's just a big mush of genres. It's not your typical 3-chord DB.
No, it's multi-layered, which is really a nice thing.
I'm excited talking about bit hay fever, I think.
That's okay. And you've not just been involved with Burning Flag. Up until, what, a month or so ago, you were running Hell Hath No Fury Records.
I was. Yeah. I mean, I've still got stuff to sell, but I think I needed to do it because my mental health, that's my number one priority, and then secondly, the band. We've spent so much on the album that we've done a lot of other stuff for it DIY. So Skinny did the drawing, and Kat from No Matter kindly digitalized it for me. But I've done the graphic design for the album, and I did the cover along with Jonesy, kind of, giving me feedback about concepts and stuff. And then of course Mark did the mastering as well. So yeah, I mean, it and then the promotion as well, and so that's what I wanted to take on, because like with Hell Hath No Fury, I built up a lot of contacts and network. So I was just like, right, do you know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll sort of press pack out and do it. So it just culminated a lot of work, and I just couldn't commit to Hell Hath No Fury anymore. And it was also difficult because time's just changing all the time. Every time a new generation of people come about, things change all the time. There's a lot of discord. There's a lot of discord anyway on the left and in the queer community as well. And yeah, it's difficult because you get it from all sides. So you get like your far right bigots, and then you've got TERFs, who are just like, well, like, why are you including trans women in women? Like, oh my god. And then you've got the far righters, and then you've got the people who have no idea about feminism or intersectional feminism at all, and they're saying, well, I think it's sexist you're not including cis men, and that's you just you're doing the opposite and telling me what I'm doing wrong. And then you've got the queer community who's which is full of different generations, and there's a lot of people shouting over at each other what terminology we should be using, what I don't know, what's problematic, what's not, what and it chips at you. And the people who are going to get that that noise from people is your feminist and queer promoters. I think one thing that really upset me was when I kind of said about it, and I was just honest, and I said, look, I'm getting it from all sides. It's horrible. We're meant to be a community. We're meant to be working together. But you're just chipping people down, and they just don't want to do it anymore. And then I had a few messages from like my mutuals who, run festivals and put on gigs and such, and they said, yeah, we're exactly the same. It's exhausting. Like, you're constantly under a spotlight, and it's from everywhere. So yeah, it just took such a massive hit on my mental health that I was like, right, I just need time. I want to focus on my main project, which is Burning Flag right now, and also my brain.
Both of very worthy things to be focusing on, but it's
absolutely,
it is really good that you were able to get out there and publicize that not all women are born with vaginas, and they have every.
I'm still going to do that.
Good, because I discovered some amazing bands through you that I would probably have not found if it hadn't been for Hell Hath No Fury and you're pushing on them to get out there and release things.
That was it. Yeah, that was my main aim. And also I saw a shift, you know, that like Reckless, yes, who are a relatively established label, run by Sarah and her partner, I think. But she ended up signing Duck. She ended up signing Breakup Haircut. So she's going to be putting out records for these bands that she discovered through her Have No Fury. And also and Bitch Hunt as well, who I put a tour on for. And that's incredible, like seeing that happen and then being told, you know, well, this is because of you. It's just meant so much. And you know, and I can see the shift. I can see the shift in, like, you know, my cis male counterparts, you know, and they're in like festivals and things. I mean, shouted out for food, I think. Should I had your breakfast earlier? And I can see the shift in what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I think it's great, and I can see it, and it's you know, and it is gradually happening.
Yeah.
I think as generations go on, that's when it's going to happen, you know. I think there is you know, a couple of generations that oh, that's it. Yeah, Diego's like an alarm clock for all of them. Yeah, he's like, I've been out this morning all morning and I'm coming in, now give me my food, and then the others will hear him and
come down and say, food now.
Yeah, you'll have to eat your dry food, which they never do. They're obsessed with wet food. But yeah, I'm excited for, well, I mean, 2021, this year is going to be a little bit all over the place. Yeah. I think in terms of lineups and releases, I don't think there's going to be like a particular plan. Things are being rescheduled. Yeah. But 2022, I'm very excited. It's
going to be a good year, I think.
It's going to be amazing. I just feel like booking it all off. Just I'm going to quit my job.
Yeah. Just like, can I have an year's annual leave, please? You can take it from other years, but just give me the year off.
That's it. Yeah, I'll just consistently work forever. But yeah, I think the DIY scene is going to be beautifully diverse, and very I think everyone's going to be supporting live music, so I don't think it's going to be a case of putting on a band and then you have like 5 people showing up. I think people have realized that we did take a lot of it for granted. Yeah, one of the reasons I'm working on my mental health, because I'm like, I don't want to be that person anymore, ringing up and ringing pals up or texting them saying, oh, I can't come out tonight, like my depression's really bad, my anxiety's really bad. Like I want to get to a point where my mind's healthy and I can support live music and be there. And yeah, and that's another reason with the Have No Fury thing. Like gigs became a chore for me.
Yeah, and that's when it's time to call it quits. Really, yeah, when it becomes definitely a chore. You know,
yeah,
you can't
absolutely
keep going. Yeah, call it quits. Pull it back. Do something until it feels right again, or you finish.
Yeah, that's it. The beauty of DIY. Just
exactly. And as you were saying about the generations and acceptance and all of that, I've been seeing, it almost seems this lockdown has brought out a resurgence of the queers don't belong in punk movement. Have you been seeing that type of thing?
I do, and it's mostly where the menstrual cramps are involved. Yeah, so I do see it, not particularly on my timeline, but if I mean, I don't tend to block people I'll unfriend them. So if they're still friends with another person and they're commenting on their posts,
You see it.
then I still see it. So yeah, I'm not completely in a bubble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of it is they're scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are fearful of change. They're scared of these wonderfully, loud, proud queer bands who are calling for change through their music, and they don't like it, basically.
Yeah.
They don't like it. But it's tough because they're just gonna have to deal with it.
Exactly.
I always find it weird when it's like some older punks are kind of like, oh yeah, well, it's always been this way. And I'm like, yeah, but you were around when queercore was about, like when queercore actually just kind of like exploded. Like, where were you? Yeah. Well, they were probably the same back then, I can
Probably,
imagine.
but it was a little more acceptable to say something.
Well, yeah, this is true, isn't it? Yeah. Whereas now, I don't think that they feel like they're oppressed. They feel like they can't say anything. They feel like free speech has been taken, which it hasn't. It's just people are telling them that they're an asshole, and they're not scared of repercussions about that. And they just need to either embrace it or just shut up. Be nice. Yeah, exactly. It's not affecting them at all in the slightest.
Exactly.
I don't, and I don't. They must have so much wonderful, lovely free time on their hands that they can go on different pages and people's posts and just make a noise about it. At the end of the day, they just make themselves look like tits. Yes. And they're just doing themselves a disservice. And where the DIY punk scene is becoming a lot more diverse, they're just going to be left out.
Yeah. Kept going to rebellion, and that's pretty much all they'll have. So
that's it. Yeah. Because they find that shit hilarious.
Yeah, they do. And sorry, I started laughing because we had the kitty appearance there.
Yeah. He's proper settled down, aren't you? It's only because you want food. But he went out. I went to feed him breakfast this morning. I think they're a bit sad because they're on Pro-Plan gastro at the moment. Sorting their bellies out for a bit.
I know that one. Mine were very sick with the tummy bug for about a week. And it's, what are you getting in your bowl, monitoring it, making sure it's all correct and all of that.
Absolutely.
What are you looking forward to most once we can get back to gigs and not be in masks and all of that?
I'm just looking forward to just seeing friends and hearing live music and feeling that atmosphere. There's nothing like it, and like I know we did a live stream, but we kind of like were forced to, well, we weren't forced to, but we felt it was a really good idea because a lot of people were excited about seeing us, and obviously coronavirus stumped our plans. And then following there was a lot of live streams, which was really exciting for a little bit, but then it got to a point where you're like, you don't get that feeling, you don't feel the bass pounding, and
I just like feel it here, and that's what I miss is your whole body rattling.
That's it. And you just don't get that, and I think that's why where we've done band practice between lockdowns has been so important. Just to hear that music again. And I mean, it's not the same because you haven't got like loads of people in there, and you're not going outside when everyone has a cigarette and, you know, chatting to your mates. And yeah, I just miss being able to go into like Gulliver's or the Eagle or anywhere else and just knowing people and be like, hey, and, you know, having a cuddle and just seeing how they're doing, and actually seeing how they're doing, and not you asking them how you doing and then on Facebook going, I'm fine.
Yeah. Whereas in person, you can see the eyes and you know they're not. And maybe all they need is a hug or an ear or something, and you can give that.
This is it. Yeah. And again, like, I just want to get my mental health to a point where like I can feel comfortable going out. I think my goal is, you know, to go out once a month at least, to a gig and go see friends, have a lovely time. Well, unless like we're playing a gig. I'm looking forward to playing gigs.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, mental health never stops me with gigs, ever.
That's good.
Maybe a couple of times in the past, but
no. Your mental health, I think, to get out there, it's a release to be out there and playing, and in your case, singing, screaming is such a release. You know, this
is precisely it. And, you know, and I think I have really struggled this lockdown without that, with like, even though it's just band practice, just singing and just letting everything out. Because a lot of our songs are like that, the lyrics I've written are quite political and are quite important to me. So yeah, it is a good release, and I can't really do that at home, not without probably complaints from the neighbors. I can't imagine.
Exactly. They'll hear that and they'll call the police thinking something has happened to you because you're screaming.
Yeah, there's a lady screaming next door.
No, she's just
something about MATADORs.
Yeah. Well,
something about Boris Johnson.
Yeah. Well, I cannot wait to see Burning Flag with you on front. I really hope that as soon as lockdown is lifted, I'll be able to see you guys, because I've been looking for a year.
We've definitely got a few dates booked in. We're hoping when the EP comes out, LP, when the LP comes out, then hopefully we'll get a few more dates booked in. But then it's like, yay, we're getting dates booked in, but are they going to happen? Are they? Oh, we don't know. I've got a lot of hope that they are going to happen, and yeah, I'm feeling positive that things will return to normal. You know, like my brother lives in Australia, and I've been speaking to him, and you know, when like if I ring him and he's just out at the park or something with my nephew, and you could just hear people around and having a lovely time, and you know, chatting and whatever, and they've had like, you know, it's like their life is essentially back to normal now.
Yeah,
even though they had like a horrible, like they had hard lockdown for a long time, which obviously was beneficial for them. But yeah, that gives me hope, and you know, and the vaccine as well. Hopefully most people will take that up. Fingers crossed.
Yes, fingers crossed. You know, that at least everybody will have at least the one dose by the time things happen.
Definitely. Okay. I think they said it's like 70% or something, didn't they? Is it 70% they need to get?
Yeah, I think 70% with both doses, and then that'll reduce the rate, although it will never eliminate it, unfortunately. We're gonna be
it's going to be like the flu, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that'll protect people more, like especially vulnerable people, you know. It's because they've had to shield like for a very long time, and that is, yeah, can't imagine how difficult that is. Because if you've been shielding, or Andy, I can't remember.
No, neither one of us. Just I was furloughed and then working from home now.
Yeah.
So, and he's been out at work whenever he's, whenever the company's been working. He's a painter and decorator, so
Right, yeah.
Go out. Whereas
Yeah.
being IT types, we can stay home and do our work from home.
Well, that's why I changed my job. Well, kind of went back to what I was doing ish, just a lot more coding with this one. But yeah, because I knew that I just couldn't be furloughed again.
Yeah.
And not have work, because it would just drive me insane.
It did. It drove me absolutely nuts. You got into your job earlier than me. I was furloughed for 7 months.
Oh my God.
7 months of just sitting here in these 4 walls. Thank God for the cats. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think I get separation anxiety from the cats more than they do me now. I go out and I hope they're okay, because I just spend so much time with them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to be like when I kind of start going out a bit more, and like, I don't know, I might go to the office for a couple of days a week in the summer.
Yeah.
Get back into it, so it's not too much of a shock.
I'm kind of worried about that with mine, because one of them gets separation anxiety if I go out for more than 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
She does not like separation at all. So
yeah, mine have pooed at the front door. So I've opened it up and I'm like, oh great, okay, that's what I get for going out for a walk. Brilliant, thanks.
A poo is better than what she does. She pees right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It smells. It just, yeah. Rocky's, yeah, I suppose Rocky's been doing it a couple of times. It's when they pee and they just look at you straight in the eye and it's like, this is what you've made me do.
Yes. No, she does it where I can't see her. And then she looks guilty as heck when I see her next. She knows she shouldn't be doing it, but she does it. Thankfully, I've got little plastic rubbery mats next to the boxes, so it's an easy cleanup. Assault by cattail. Oh my God.
This is my baby Luther. He's my youngest, but he's my fattest. You got fat shamed by the vet, didn't you? Did you keep feeling your brother's food? Diego and Rocky are really diddy. They're like 3 kilos.
Yeah.
They're very small cats, and so they don't need as much food as Luther would. So if they leave any food, he's at it.
Yeah.
And that's all he does. That's all you do is just cry at me for food, don't you? You go, ah. You do. He's funny. He makes me laugh. He caught his first mouse the other day, and he was just growling at all of us. None of us were near him. He was just growling anyway.
Yeah. Don't come near me. This is my prize.
Yeah. That wasn't a present for me. That was him being like, this is what I've got.
Yeah.
But you didn't kill it, did you? You just got, legs were gone and everything. I'm gonna get some chloroform, I think.
Oh gosh, yeah. Poor little things. And
yeah, because that really affected me. I was like, I know there's a more human that some people will like,
bash her.
Thing. Yeah, bash a stamp and so get it over with quickly. I think it was in so much shock anyway that well, that's what I'm trying to say to myself. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna get some chloroform, because then just whack a bit on the cotton wool jar. Bob's your uncle. Yeah.
At least it was painless at that point for them. You've just reinforced one of the things about having indoor cats. They don't bring home presents, and you don't have to deal with that. Oh,
Well, the weirdest thing is, like, Luther is an indoor cat. Well, I've got a tiny yard and they've got a catio, and he goes in the catio in the little house.
So it came in there.
It must have. It must have. He doesn't really. He stays most of the time indoors, and then just sleeps in the catio. I think maybe at like nighttime. So yeah, he must have like got in his little house in there. Yeah, none of them really stray that far, to be honest. I'm really lucky, but I think it's because I kept them in for so long. And like, I think if I get another cat, which I probably will do when I get a bigger place, I'll do the exact same thing as well. Keep them indoors for about a year, and then just get them real settled at home, and then
try.
Yeah, well, that was it. They went out on a trial basis,
Mm.
and I just wanted to see what they'd be like.
Yeah.
But they're very homely cats.
Yeah, which is a good thing.
Yeah. I've got no concerns. I do get worried when they go out a little bit longer than they usually do. If they don't come back for food, I'm like, oh my God, what's happened? I'm looking at all the Facebook sites. I'm like, oh my God, has anyone found my cat?
Yeah. When the one disappeared overnight, I couldn't have done that. I could not.
Yeah.
No, I could not. Yeah. They're too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. It depends which cat it would be. I mean, it was Diego who went missing, but I know he's a smart cookie.
Yeah.
And he's very independent, and he will come home, and he loves like cuddles and things like that. And he sleeps with me a lot.
Mm.
Soon. Monkey. Yeah, definitely don't stand on it.
No.
Hair in my mouth now. Yeah, cat life. I love it. Wouldn't change it for the world.
Yep. Especially that plume of a tail. That is the most gorgeous tail.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be, or he is going to be, like a semi-long hair. He is long, but he's not like, you get like the majestic-y kind of.
Yeah. He's trying to give you a boa now.
Soon, mate. You have food. You have food in the bowl. It's just because he wants wet food because he's such a baby.
Well, I think I will let him get his food.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry if we went on like a tangent of lots of things, but
I love that. To me, that's what it's all about.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much that you can talk about an album. But thank you very much for doing this. And as always, yours and Andy's support. It's much appreciated, especially like throughout the lockdown. And yeah, I'm looking forward to gigs to get some money back. That'll be nice. Sure. Not that we get any money from the gigs, but like from merch and stuff.
Exactly, the merch, and we'll put all the info on the bottom where people can buy. Well, thank you very much.
Oh,
now go get those cats fed.
I know. Yeah, bless them. I'm 20 minutes late.
Hey, bad cat mommy. I'm the same.
Terrible cat mom. Excellent. Lovely. Thank you so much, Shelley.
You're welcome.
And I shall, speak to you soon.
Talk soon. Bye.
Bye.